My sister cut me off for years, and now she wants my help. I refuse to support her financially, and she's furious. I, 32F, grew up with a close-knit family, especially with my older sister Anna, 36F. We were inseparable throughout our childhood and teenage years. Anna was always my protector, my confidante, and my best friend. When our parents divorced when I was 15, it was Anna who helped me through it. She was my rock, and I thought nothing could ever come between us. We shared everything, and I looked up to her in so many ways. However, things started to change when Anna met Mike, 37M. Mike seemed nice at first, but over time I noticed a shift. He was always a bit controlling, and he didn't seem to like me very much. At family gatherings, he'd make passive-aggressive comments about my lifestyle or career choices. When I was in college studying art and design, he'd always mock my useless degree, saying I'd never make a living off it. Anna would laugh along or say nothing, and I figured she just didn't want to get involved. After they got married about 10 years ago, it became clear that Mike wanted to separate Anna from her family. He didn't outright say it, but little things piled up. Suddenly, they were too busy to meet up, and Anna stopped answering my texts and calls as frequently. At first, I thought maybe they were just adjusting to married life. But over the years, it became more and more evident that Anna was drifting away. I'd invite her to coffee, to family dinners, to anything, and she'd always have an excuse: I'm busy. Mike and I are working through some things. Maybe next time. About 5 years ago, Anna just stopped communicating altogether. No explanation. No fight, just silence. I was devastated. I tried reaching out several times, leaving voicemails and sending messages, but nothing. It was like she vanished from my life. I eventually stopped trying because it was too painful. I'd hear updates about her through our mom, but even my parents had minimal contact with her. During this time, I worked hard to build my career. Despite Mike's dismissive attitude toward my degree, I actually did really well in the design field. I started my own business, which grew quickly, and I'm now financially stable. I'm not rich, but I'm comfortable, and I've been proud of the life I've built for myself. Then, about 2 months ago, out of the blue, Anna called me. I was shocked but happy to hear from her. For a brief moment, I thought maybe she wanted to reconnect, to apologize, or at least explain why she cut me off for all those years. But the conversation quickly turned into something else. Anna and Mike were having serious financial problems. Mike had lost his job, and they were struggling to pay their mortgage and bills. She said they'd tried getting help from other family members, but no one could afford to help them out. Anna asked me for a loan, not a small one either. She was talking thousands of dollars. She said they were desperate, and if they didn't get help soon, they could lose their house. I told her I needed time to think about it and hung up. Honestly, I felt conflicted. On one hand, she's my sister, and I know she's in a tough spot. On the other hand, I can't ignore the fact that she abandoned me when I needed her the most. For years, she acted like I didn't exist, and now the only reason she's talking to me is because she needs money. I couldn't help but feel used. It hurt that there was no apology or acknowledgement of what she'd done. It was all about her problems and what I could do for her. I talked to some friends about it, and opinions were mixed. Some said, she's family, you should help her, even if she was distant before. Others told me that I shouldn't feel obligated to bail her out, especially considering how she treated me for all those years. One of my close friends pointed out that helping her financially might not even fix the problem if Mike is still in control of their decisions. After thinking it over for a few days, I called Anna back and told her that I wasn't comfortable lending her the money, especially since we hadn't been in contact for so long. I told her that I was hurt by the way she cut me out of her life, and it didn't feel right for me to just jump in now and help when she hadn't shown any interest in maintaining our relationship. Anna didn't take it well. She said I was being petty and vindictive. She accused me of punishing her for something that happened years ago, and said I was letting her family suffer just to prove a point. She even said that I was lucky to be in a good financial position, and that I didn't understand what it was like to struggle. That hurt the most, because I've had my fair share of struggles too, but I've worked hard to get where I am. Now, my parents are involved. They think I should help Anna, even if it's just a loan. They say she's still my sister, and that family should come first. But I can't shake the feeling that if I give her the money, I'm just enabling the same behavior that led her to cut me off in the first place. I don't know if I'll ever see that money again, and part of me feels like she'll go back to ignoring me once they're financially stable again. Next story. My wife keeps making emergency calls for help, and I finally told her I'm down. I left her stranded, and now she's furious. I, 32M, have been married to my wife, 29F, for 4 years, and we have a 3-year-old son. She's not a bad person, but she's constantly in a state of chaos, and every little thing becomes my problem. No exaggeration, I get these emergency calls multiple times a week. Flat tire? Call me at work. Forgot her wallet? Call me, grocery store out of her favorite oat milk, blow up my phone like the world's ending. It's relentless. I work full-time and do my fair share at home with our son, diaper duty, bedtime stories, cooking, cleaning, you name it. But these crises are killing me. I've told her before that unless it's a real emergency, like someone bleeding or stuck on a highway at night, she needs to figure it out. I don't have the bandwidth to drop everything constantly. The last straw came 2 days ago. I had to take my son to the doctor because he had an ear infection, and I was already running on fumes. While I'm in the waiting room with a fussy toddler, she calls me in a panic because she locked herself out of her car in front of a Target 5 minutes from home. I told her, I can't leave. You'll have to call someone to pop the window. She freaked out, saying that would cost too much, she didn't bring enough cash, and I was being unreasonable. I stayed firm, said she needed to figure it out, and hung up. When I got home later, she was furious. She said the guy charged her $150, and I should have come to help because she didn't think to grab her wallet. I told her, point blank, I'm done rescuing you from things you can easily handle. You need to stop acting like everything is a disaster. Now she's barely speaking to me, acting like I'm the villain for not dropping everything for her again. My brother thinks I was harsh, but my mom said I was right to set boundaries. Aita for leaving her stranded this time. Next story. My fiancée never told her best friend she was engaged. I broke up with her over it, and now she's heartbroken. My now ex-fiancé, 30F, and me, M27, got engaged 3 weeks ago. We've been dating for 5 years, and I finally got the money to give her the wedding she wanted. Well, 3 days ago, we were discussing our guest list, and I asked if she wanted to invite her best friend. Let's call him James, M30. James lives in another state, but since they were friends for 10 years, I thought I could even pay for his travel expenses since it would be great to have her best friend at the wedding. She denied, saying that it would take a lot of work to bring him, and she wanted it to be a family event. Countless times she mentioned that James was like family to her, so I insisted. She got annoyed and said I didn't even tell him we were engaged. That took me by surprise. I tried to ask why, but she started stonewalling me, and I left her alone. After a couple of hours, I tried to ask her again why she haven't told him we were engaged, and she still refused to tell me, and I admit, my insecurity got the better of me. In the past, James had confessed he had feelings for her, which she turned down and basically friend-zoned him. So by the way she told me, it always sounded like she had him as a backup, something not only me, but her exes realized. She married him online. They always made they Wei characters look like a couple, like wearing the same transmog and underscore like that. When she had a fight with her exes, he was always there for her and at sec. I told her that made me uncomfortable, and if she was not planning to tell him, she might as well consider herself single. Cause I would not marry someone who couldn't be honest. Yes, I was pretty immature, but she did something even more immature. She texted him while showing me her phone something like, hey, just so you know, I was engaged, but not anymore, and send it to him. I told her to pack her things and leave my house. Ever since she left, she has been calling me, but I refused to answer. My mom called me, because she apparently called my mom, and said that I was an asshole for ending things for such a ridiculous thing. So, Aita,